They can't even show you a deed to the land older than 100 years. This is deep. They can't show you the property rights of who legally and legitimately conveyed the land to them. But you paying rent, and you paying a mortgage, and you don't question his references of how he got the land. Where did he get it from? Who gave it to him? If we want to look at references, stop paying rent. Because if you trace the deed back, it gets to a point where it has no references. Well, show me the treaty where the Native American told you can have it. Oh, we don't have that. So why am I paying you rent then? Why am I paying you a mortgage if you cannot validate your ownership? But if a black man says, well, we go out our door to help them get what they need, to get what we need. And when they get what they need first, their business establishments and restaurants, whatever we work for, when we help them get what they need, then nigga, you can get what you need. If you don't make me $20, you don't get $1. You think you help me make $20 and now you're gonna use your dollar to try to take over? I got the other 19 you made for me to shut you down. Hell, I only gotta use 5 of the dollars that you made me. You hear me? To shut you down in 24 hours. You made enough money as an insurance policy that I got a war treasury. Huh? To stop you. So my whole point is this European's economic system. We ain't gotta go out and kill the devil. The first step is stop supporting his economic system. That's the first level. Because if you wanna kill him, then stop supporting him first. Because I can't believe that you really want to kill him if you his life support. If you paying him to kill us. Stop giving energy to it. And the more you stop giving your energy to it, you become a place and an efficient space where others can stop giving their energy to it. That's it. That's the only way out of white supremacy. As long as you keep giving your energy to it, you cannot destroy it. It is a reflection of your own energy. That's a fact. I don't fear survival anymore. Because now I can stop and live. Many of us have not stopped and lived. We never lived in this way. Our whole existence has been reacting to our fear of death, and it has been exploited by our employers, by landlords, by people that say, well, you know if you don't pay me, you're gonna die. You know if you don't come to work, you're gonna die. And they tell you that if you don't go to school and college and this and that other, you're gonna become a drug dealer, you're gonna end up dying, going to jail, like there's no other option for you. You already put it back in. So we associate death with unplugging from white supremacy. We associate that with death. Because we feel like we're gonna die. That's why we react to this or that bill. As soon as we get the bill in the mail, it's like a death experience. We gotta pay this bill. Because our life, our concept of living, is connected to he who is holding you captive. So he don't need a chain anymore. He don't need a whip anymore. Because your very concept of living is interconnected with the plantation now. Who I am is a slave. In order for me to exist, I must continue to be a slave. Ain't that deep? So now in the back of our psyche, we have subconsciously identified ourselves as slaves. We have identified ourselves with somebody having to be up under him, up in a subservient position to him, and our survival is based. So imagine getting to a level of black consciousness where you can't even tolerate black devilishment no more. You can't even tolerate ignorance anymore. You can't tolerate limitation and fear anymore. You can't tolerate white supremacy no more. You don't have the stomach. I don't want to take back the history. I want to take back the land. I want to take back the mind of our people. I want to take back the behavioral paradigm of our people. I want to take back our army that's fighting for him to become an army for ourselves. I want to take back the black woman who has been pimped and prostituted by his institutions within his society. I don't want to take back history, brother. I want to take back our children from DCFS. Take back our children from what? From Adi homes, from prisons. Take back our revolutionary political prisoners who are on death row for some shit they didn't want to do. I don't want to take back history. And I'm not training and preparing and building to take back no history. He can have the history. I'm taking the future. Y'all hear the point that I'm making? In every manifestation and exemplification of the black empowered self is taking the future in hands. Because the future gonna become what you are acting out now. We're creating the future by everything we're doing in this moment. So if we acting out black divinity, the future has already been changed. It's certain what the future is gonna be if we acting out black empowerment in this moment. If we standing in that position. So I don't want to take back history. That's his story. Let him have the story. Read that to your children when they go to bed. Huh? Let him have his story. Everybody got their own story. Who got the land on?
And he's been attracted to us out of the lower level things that we had desired.
You wake up tomorrow morning, you have the same goddamn values as the white man, right? I don't have that revolution. Because both of y'all need the same thing in place in order to achieve your vision. If the system fails, you broke and he broke. So while y'all claim to be in opposition, you must work together at the minutest level to keep a system going where both of you all can get paid. Is that right? Our mind tells us that we need this condition for survival. No, you need this condition so that you can have some type of comfort. So you can have a mental level of comfort with your environment, but the body can survive. So your survival has nothing to do with your relationship to the European paying rent and jobs and all that. That has nothing to do with your survival. We have made it our survival. How do you make a living? You ain't making no living with no white boy. When you born, the moment you came out your mother's womb, you begin to make a living. So a living has nothing to do with a job. But we begin to think that that's what we say. We make a living. I'm fired. Now I'm going to die. They fired me from my job. I can't live anymore. This is the shock. Your landlord says he's going to evict you. You're scared. Where am I going to live? You're going to live wherever you go, Jack. Living has nothing to do with being in an apartment. Living has nothing to do with seeing your stuff set out on the curb. You'll still be alive looking at your stuff on the curb. But we think that. So they exploit our fears to keep us running in the rat race and running on the wheel. Because if I'm afraid of this, I go get the job and do this. And I'm afraid of that, and I go do this. And I'm afraid of that, and go do that. And we stay living on the wheel of fear. One fear motivating us, and we stay in it. Totally prepared by fear. Unable to get out and manifest our godship. Everything's fear. Fear I'm gonna die. Fear I'm not gonna have. Fear how people gonna see me. Fear. But we gotta give up all our attachment to the European concepts about having anything and accept what is ours in divine mind. That's a fact. If you don't have it in divine mind and consciousness, it is not yours. And then you will be flexible enough. This is the yoga of revolution. Then you become flexible enough to get into any situation and circumstance and begin to master that condition in the environment. Because you are not attached to any type of self-concept that can limit you from perfecting yourself in any environment. It's only our minds and cells that limit us to go and develop in any environment. Because it's in us. The man can master any environment and has ever mastered any environment, situation, circumstance. The man has never done that. Then so can we today. But we believe we can only deal with these limited circumstances and conditions that have been imposed on us by our oppressors, by our imperialists, by the capitalists. You see what I mean? We believe that we can only survive in these situations, and we constantly remain in them. But once we say, wait a minute, there's something more than this, at that moment we begin to become free, and we begin to become creative in our thinking. And out of our creative thinking, we begin to create something new and develop. You cannot get this from old books. They understand in these old books and old strategies. They understand it already. They understand how all that stuff works. The CIA and FBI got files this thick on all of that stuff. So liberation has to be something completely new, something innovative, and something ingenious. So true revolution, true liberation is a challenge on the individuals to become geniuses, to become masters, to become efficient. This regime, a new black world order, an awakening of a black power force is unavoidable when we exemplify the empowered black self.